Hey guys, welcome to Players United. Welcome to another video. And Barcelona 1, PSG 4, and it's happened again. It's happened once again. I'm not angry, I'm not particularly angry. I'm not even particularly sad. I just feel defeated. Because you can get angry the first time it happens, the second time it happens. You can be sad when it's happened multiple times. But right now, it's like, it's just happened again and again and again. And we've been defeated by a team that is not necessarily the better team. Yes, they wiped us out. But because we have been not the best version of ourselves. Not even close. We've not even been a competitive version of ourselves. We've lost in all the 50-50s. Today we've given Mbappe we've given him the scene to show himself, to crown himself as the next best player in the world once Messi retires. And there has been some mistakes along the way, but you know, this sums up that the cycle is over and we need to start from scratch because we need a new team. We need to change the dynamic because otherwise we're not going anywhere. Anyways, without further ado, let's go with lineups and then we'll go ahead and talk about the game. Barcelona to go with Marc Andre Ter Stegen, Jordi Alba, Clement Lenglet, Gerard Piqué and Serginho Dest in defense. A midfield trio of Sergio Busquets, Pedri and Frenkie de Jong. And up top, Ousmane Dembélé, Antoine Griezmann and Lionel Messi. With PSG with up to go with Keylor Navas in net, Florenzi, Marquinhos, Kimpembe and Kurzawa in defense. Midfield trio of Paredes, Idrissa Gueye and Marco Verratti. And up top, Mauro Icardi, Moise Kean and Kylian Mbappe. And okay, the game, in terms of lineup, what we expected. I could tell that Gerard Piqué came back from injury, but he didn't look at 100%. He didn't even look at 80%, maybe at 50% or 60%, if that. Not going to throw the blame here at Piqué because at the end of the day, there is someone that makes the decisions here, and his name is Koeman. And I've been seeing a lot of hype, and I've been seeing a lot of hype, and I wanted to answer to the hype around Ronald Koeman, and I want to say that yes, results are coming, but I want results long term. It's not good enough to have 3 or 4 games in a row if we are going to be capitulating time and time again in the most important moments of the season. Right now, with this, the season is over. I don't think there's anything to play for because La Liga is pretty much impossible. PSG I have a doubt that we can make PSG slip away. I don't think that in 3 weeks' time we're gonna be able to overturn this. We need to score at least 4 in the next game, and I just don't think that's gonna happen. And in the Copa del Rey, it's more the same. It's like, yes, we were able to overturn Granada. Yes, we've been able to beat this kind of teams that we've beaten so far this year, or since 2021 started. But when you had to play against big teams, Real Madrid, Atlético Madrid, Juventus, Sevilla, PSG, a final of a Copa, of the Supercopa, you haven't been able to. You have not been able to compete because this team is not ready to compete. This team is not able to compete. Because if you tell me, player for player, we have better players than PSG, without a shadow of a doubt. Like, Ter Stegen is better than Keylor Navas. Sergio Dest and Florenzi. I think Sergio Dest is potentially better. Piqué and Lenglet better than Marquinhos and Mbappe. Jordi Alba better than Kurzawa. Busquets, Pedri and Frenkie de Jong is better than Paredes, Gay and Berratti. Messi is better than Mbappe. Griezmann is better than Icardi. Dembélé is better than Moiskin. So if we are generally better, then why do we lose so much? Because they are, ready to compete when they want to compete. And in Ligue 1, they haven't been doing as well because they're bored of winning that competition so easily year after year. There's no one to push them, and they won the Champions League. So when the Champions League comes around, they're gonna give all the effort because this is the competition that's important to them, and we are not able to. Because one thing is having Messi and 10 warriors around him. Another thing is having Messi, Busquets, Piqué, Alba. Like, if I had to signal you, the players that started against Bayern last year, it was Ter Stegen, Alba, Lenglet, Piqué, Semedo, Sergi Roberto, Busquets, De Jong, Vidal, Suarez, and Messi. On the top of my head, I believe that's right. What have you changed? What have you truly changed? Griezmann, I think that in the first half he did, I think, a fine job, but we didn't pay 135 million euros for Griezmann to do a fine job. That's not what we asked for. Like, we need much more from Griezmann, and Griezmann, unfortunately, does not suit Barcelona because we are not playing with a second forward. We need someone that's genuinely a winger that can do one-on-ones. Griezmann in association can do a couple of good things, and obviously he's a world-class player. He's a World Cup winner, but he's just not what we need. They've made a mistake with the signing of Griezmann. Dembélé back to his old ways. Everything that was going good so far for Dembélé this season, this game he kind of went back. And yes, it doesn't help that the team doesn't work well, but something that we need to improve on Dembélé. Busquets, I'm not gonna say Busquets in starting today was horrible because I know that the blame's gonna be on Busquets. I know it. I know it's gonna be the blame is gonna be on Busquets, on Lenglet, and on Piqué probably, or something like that. But the reality is that we need a change. Like, when I see Marco Verratti today, and I'm like, he's one of the best centre midfielders in the world. Like, this guy was dictating the tempo of the whole game. The best player in the game, I know statistically is going to be Kylian Mbappe. The one that's going to be showing the headlines is going to be Kylian Mbappe. But the best player today was Marco Verratti. Verratti today was sensational. Like, he was dictating tempo like no other. And what is it with sticking with Belgium until the 70th minute? Not saying that Ricky Puig is going to solve your problem, but change something. Do something, Koeman. The problem with Koeman is that, he thinks that because making the game go crazy, aka taking less defenders, putting more forwards on, that's going to change anything. No. He did the same thing that he did against Real Madrid, that he's done multiple times. And you know what? You don't want to know what the problem is? That it's very different coming back from a 1-3 than from a 1-4. Once they scored the third, what you should have done was, let's minimize damages and let's try to change things around in the second game. With this right now, you have no hope of coming back because we're not a team prepared to come back. The reason that the 6-1 happened was that Barcelona at that time had Luis Enrique, a coach that prepared his team to fight, that prepared his team for battle. That team, yes, had a slip up of concentration and attitude in that day against 4-0 in Paris. Is because the players went ahead and not competed that day. but that team was prepared to compete. Not necessarily that the quality was exponentially better, that partially it was, but because the attitude was different, because the team was prepared differently. I'm gonna say it, and I've been saying it time and time again. Koeman could change my mind, but for what I've seen right now, Koeman is not able to be the coach for Barcelona. Unlike all the trash that was said about Setien when he lost to Bayern, I was seeing good progress from Setien with what he was given. It seems like this group actually likes Koeman and somewhat, they're supporting him and they're running more, something that they didn't do with Setien. Because I've not seen bad faces like the one that Messi gave to the Sarabia against Celta. The blow off that Suarez and Rakitic gave also in that game to Setien. My issue is the players are kind of good in attitude. I'm seeing the team kind of physically better, somewhat physically better, but still not able to compete because the mentality is wrong. The mentality of this team is wrong. It's not the physicality that's wrong. Right now the physicality seems to be slightly better, but the problem is that if your brain is not going as fast as your body, then you start having problems. Every single time today we lost the 50-50s. Explain that to me. Because we don't need physicality to win. The lie of the physicality, it's a lie. You play to your strengths. And the best team in history is that Barcelona Pep Guardiola. And they had Busquets, Xavi, and Iniesta. The thing is that their mind was the fastest minds in the world. And they could move the game around at will. And we're not doing that. We're not doing that because, unfortunately, there's a team with Messi, Busquets, Piqué, and Alba, and a team with maybe just Messi and Busquets, maybe just Piqué, Alba, and Messi. When we have specifically those four at the same time, you're having problems. And the season's over because the Copa del Rey, I don't think that we're going to beat Sevilla. In the game against PSG, coming back, we're not coming back. And Atletico Madrid, I heavily doubt that they're going to drop that many points for us to have a somewhat of a chance of coming back. So the season's over. If it's up to me, don't rush Ansu Fati back. Don't rush him back. Let him recover at his own pace. If he's only able to come back properly until August, let that be. Let's not push it. Araujo, the same thing. Don't push it. And right now, my idea would be, I know that this is not going to happen because Koeman is one of one to save his job. But if we had someone that was truly worried about being the Barcelona, following the Barcelona philosophy and doing an actual good work for the club and good service, would be play the youngsters until the end of the season with Messi, try to convince Messi to stay if that's what he wants, if that's what we need. Because I honestly, genuinely don't know if Messi staying is what we need. Because I can think of two possibilities, and that is, okay, Messi leaves and we lose the best player in the world, but maybe that allows us to, transition into a different team. But I also think that we have no money, and Messi brings a lot of assets to the club, and replacing him is going to be impossible. So maybe sticking with him, and if he wants to stay with us and wants to give it his all, which I think he's trying to give his all, maybe you have to shift the likes of Busquets, Piqué, and Alba. Not saying that you have to sell them necessarily, but they have to be given a new, different role in this team. It's time for the Araujos. It's time to give Des more participation. More time for Ricky Puig. More Trincao. We need to see. I want to see more. If this was a year to transition, and I said it from the beginning, and a lot of people said it from the beginning. This is not me trying to hand myself medals around me. No, this is saying what was obvious. This was a year of transition, not to win titles. And the problem is that we've not won titles. And on top of that, the football is not improved. If anything, it got worse. And we've not done the transition either. Which was, the youngsters, other than particularly Pedri and maybe Dembele, they've been the only true players to be given minutes in comparison to what it was expected. Because Mingueza has been given minutes because Serginho Dest and Sergio Roberto have been injured. And because we lost Piqué at a moment during the season. Araujo, same reason. Araujo has been playing because Gerard Piqué got injured and Longley dropped his level. The youngsters that are not Pedri and Dembele have played because Koeman was forced to, not because he wanted to, or because he took on the risk of doing so. Trincao did not start his first league game of the season until his last game. That just signifies a lot that things haven't been done right. No transition has been done. No progress. The game got worse. We're losing titles. Like, we're not beating any of the big teams in the world. We're not able to compete. And this is what the message is. The message is that we're kind of doomed. Like, it looks very gloomy right now. And that's a shame. Because we used to be the best club in the world. And because of factors like your Bartomeos, like your Sandro Roseis, like the Barcelona fans themselves, especially the Socies, that, decided to vote in people that wanted to change the complete structure of the club to something that was signing around the Brazilians, bringing the likes of Neymar to the club, taking away the power from the coach to be the leading figure, not doing things the right way. All of that has summed up into the 4-0 in Paris, the 3-0 in Turin, the 4 against Roma, or the 3-0 against Roma, the 4-0 against Anfield, the 2-8 against Bayern, and today the 1-4 against PSG. It's happened once again, and it will keep happening if you do. I guess the way that I want to end this video is by saying that let's say a save. You can expect to get different results if you keep doing the same thing, and that's what we're doing. Valverde has been the coach today. And generally, Valverde has been the coach this season. Because, unfortunately, Koeman has kind of been a Valverde 2.0 for most part of the season. With his own differences and stuff. And I will give props to Koeman where props are done. He's had a tough job at coming to Barcelona. But he's not done everything that he could have. And he's not done what he was supposed to do, in my personal opinion. Anyways, guys, with all said and done, leave me your opinions. Do you think that we can come back? What do you think we should do from now on? Anyways, leave me all your opinions in the comment section below. Comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you next one, Blaugranas.